We are back, guys, for another Sylvester Stallone review, and this time it's Lock Up. Now, every action star has that one film that goes into the pool of obscurity, and Sylvester Stallone is no exception. So get comfy, get a drink, pop some popcorn, and let's talk Lock Up.
Covenant, you're calling Raven.
Payback time.
Come on! Come with me if you want to live. You just don't turn it off!
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching BACKTRACK Cinema, where we talk movies of the past that you know and love. If you like old movies from your childhood, like action, sci-fi, horror, this is what we do here. This is what we talk about. So consider hitting that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Like and share the videos. I would really appreciate it. So as you all know, we've been going through a lot of Stallone reviews. I got all the Rocky reviews done. I have done First Blood. I've done Over the Top. I've done Cobra. So we're just continuing, relaxing with more Sylvester Stallone reviews. And this week's Lock Up. Now, this movie, very obscure movie. I don't ever remember it being in theater back in 1989. I remember just getting it, renting it, buying it on home video, and really loving this movie. I really feel like this was Stallone returning to that real kind of underdog character, someone we can root for, someone we can cheer on. Is it predictable? Yes. For me, it's the journey of how we get there. It's entertaining, it's fun, it delivers what I like to see in like an action thriller. This is not Shawshank Redemption. You're not gonna blow the doors open. This is the best prison movie ever, but it is a good time. So let me know in the comments below if you've seen Lock Up. If you haven't, let's talk about it. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it, come back, watch the review, and we'll have a great discussion in those comments. So Lock Up, it was released in 1989, directed by John Flynn, starring Sylvester Stallone, Donald Sutherland, John Amos, Sonny Landham, and Tom Sizemore. And the story follows Frank Leone. With only 6 months left on his sentence, he's transferred from a minimum security prison to a maximum security prison by a vindictive warden. So we're really talking about a revenge thriller with the setting of a prison. Great place to put Stallone. And, Stallone in the 80s, there was nobody bigger. With those hits like Rambo 2, Rocky 4, then he does Cobra. Then he does Over the Top, which I absolutely love, but it was not a financial success. Then Rambo 3 underperformed at the box office. So where does he go? He does something like Lock Up. When he gets transferred to this high security prison by this vindictive warden played by Donald Sutherland, great bad guy. The history between these two characters is that Stallone was at one of his prisons. Stallone escaped. That made the warden look really bad. But this is really this warden trying to push and push and push. So he'll do something in this prison to break the law, and that he'll have him for life. You don't want him to play into this warden's game, and because this character could possibly break. Man, this warden does anything he can. He's got bad guards, and there's good guards, and he meets all these other guys in this prison that they kind of form this brotherhood, which we'll get into, because it's full of great characters in this, like great character actors in this movie. One of the great scenes in this film is this football game. This is where the warden uses Sonny Landham, who plays Chink, and he's this one badass inmate in this movie, and we know him from Billy from Predator. He was also in Firewalker. Great character actor for this kind of role. And they play this football game, and it's just a lesson to Stallone. He's just being roughed up out there and getting his ass kicked, man. It's one of the great action set pieces of the movie because they're out there playing football in the cold and in the mud. They're all ganging up on Sly, and this is where he forms more friends. And this is where we meet Eclipse, played by Frank McRae, who you guys probably know from Rocky 2. Who worked in the meat shop. You just feel every hit. It almost feels like a Rocky fight in a certain way. He meets a young kid who they nickname First Base. He's trying to teach him, how to survive in a place like this because he knows he's here for a long time. And the kid's just a mouthpiece. You know what I mean? And we get a young Tom Sizemore in here who plays Dallas. He's set up as someone who betrays Frank at the end when they try to escape. But he's also brings a lot of humor. He's charismatic, like a lot of charismatic actors in this. And then you got the guards. The setup as there's the bad guards, and there's John Amos, who's the captain, who cannot be bought. He's there to do a job. He's very stern. He's very tough, there to do a job. Love this character. I think John Amos just brings a lot of presence, and his voice is just very booming, very stern. When he talks, you feel it, right? And there's some scenes in here where Captain Miser starts questioning the warden's motives. And Donald Sutherland as the warden is fantastic. He can play a great villain. He's just a great actor, and I think him and Stallone bounce off each other really, really well. There's a clear motive why he has Frank Leone there, what he wants to do to him. There's reasons behind it all. So it's a very earned character. He uses his one prisoner, Sonny Landham, his name's Chink, to, you know, to really push Frank, really push Stallone. They have great scenes together. I love Sonny Landham. I mean, this guy is a fucking mean dude, man. This guy is a bad dude. Love him in everything I see him in, usually. Just a great character actor. And that's when he starts talking, you know this guy's a mean dude. Like the one kid, first base, starts mouthing back to him. And he's just like, when he says, "We'll play later, you little bitch." It's just like, I believe this guy is really in jail. This guy is a real inmate. The way they really push Frank over the edge is when they kill first base in the weight room. It's a great scene because it's atmospheric. It's in the dark, and he gets surrounded by all these big dudes and put him on the bench press. And he looks up, and can you imagine the last thing you see in this world before you go out is Sonny Landham with a freaking 300 pounds going, "I told you we'd play later, you little bitch." Oh man, great scene.
I told you we'd play later, you little bitch.
This is what almost pushes Stallone over the edge. Not quite, but there's a good fight scene that happens after. Now, guys, it's not a full-blown out action film. I look at it more as like an action thriller. And there's some good scenes in here, like when they form this brotherhood, they start working on this car together. Stallone's plays he's a really blue-collar character, and I think that's where Stallone's at his best. A character like this, Frank Leone, who's, you know, is a good mechanic, a natural mechanic, likes working on cars, and they work on this car together. They form this brotherhood with these other group of friends. Really like all that stuff. If you like monologues, Stallone does a really good one here, playing into the themes of, like, you know, you're a convict and that you're owned by the warden. Everything that he gives you, because he decides to give it to you, that you're his. He has the power here. You know, we're just convicts, and it's a great monologue.
And you better remember that too, because once you start buying into this our car, our thing concept, man, you're his too.
If you're liking this video so far, please hit that like button. I really, really appreciate it. Another thing we got to talk about is the score. And guess who? Bill Conti. Bill Conti cashes in a great score here. It's one of my favorite parts of this movie. It opens up with this beautiful piano music. That's kind of the themes of everything. You'll hear it a lot through the movie. So good. And even when the movie's going for more thrills, Bill Conti's score is really good. And I talked about the football scene earlier. It's a really nice triumphant feel, like you'd get from like a Rocky movie. So great stuff. Bill Conti, man, I tell you, even in a not so good movie, this guy will deliver you a great score. I love Bill Conti. There's a little bit of something to say. I mean, you know, Frank got in prison originally from his temper and for, you know, doing a knee-jerk reaction about getting revenge and stuff. And it's kind of funny how the warden's trying to push and push and push him the exact revenge so he'll do life, right? And I like how he's trying to hold back. Stallone's holding back, and he won't really go past that point, right? It's got those things, you know, just be careful of the situations where people are putting you in. Don't play into someone else's game. A knee-jerk reaction could change your life forever. Now, there's a couple things. When these guys are making this car, Stallone and all these buddies he makes, they're building this car, there never ever seems to be guards around. They seem to be able to go and please do what the hell they want. Don't think prison works like that. I've never been to prison, but I'm not sure it works like that. Now you do see a couple times where, you know, it looks like a guard is making a deal with Dallas, Tom Sizemore's character, but I think they just could have showed us a little more. Like, but it does look like these guys have way too much freedom. They're getting hammered, smoking cigars while they're working on this car. So I always found that kind of odd. And I felt like this movie was taking itself a little more serious. There's really not a whole lot of one-liners until near the end. There's just a couple one-liners I feel like didn't fit this movie. So I felt that kind of odd. It was really out of place for this movie anyway. I know Stallone can deliver those classic one-liners like in Cobra and stuff like that, but I didn't feel like it needed that for this movie. This movie was fine without any of that stuff in it. So that's it, guys. That's my review of Lock Up. So let's grade this baby. I'm going to give Lock Up from 1989 a solid B. But what about you guys? Let me know in the comments below what you think of Lockup. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming content. Something I'd really appreciate, guys, after you watch this video, why not check out more related videos on my channel? And you'll see cards show up on the end screen. So definitely check some other stuff out. I really appreciate y'all taking your time to watch this review, and I hope you enjoy it. And my name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.